Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So it is the end of my first week at this new shop in Perth, and I've just finished painting this one. I've just given it a bake actually. So I think it's a HQ, but it's an old Holden Monaro. Bit of a hard colour to get this one, but you can see here we've gone edge to edge, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. And it was one of those ones that went light on one angle, dark on the other angle, and it needed orange on one angle and it was too orange on the other, but we managed to swing it around and I think it looks pretty good. Sometimes these lights, they actually show blends up, like I can see a little bit of mottle here, but then you get it out into the natural light and you've actually got a bit of an improvement. So I don't think I've actually 100% conquered this water-based system, the Chromax Pro, yet, but I'm definitely getting there. I've spent quite a bit of time with Carl from Park Automotives this week, and just I used to like paint reps used to piss me off with all these bloody rules and stuff like that, but I actually enjoy spending a bit of time with the paint reps these days and just ask them heaps of questions, and especially that I'm now using new product. There's actually quite a lot to learn. One of the things I've definitely been enjoying is this barcode thing. So you just scan onto that and it brings it straight up on your machine, and all these color chips, they've actually got a barcode on the back, so you don't have to go and type the code in. You can actually just go scan straight onto it and it comes straight up on your computer. You've got this little thing here which will actually tell you the humidity, so if you've got low humidity and high temperature, then you'll actually be able to add different binders and stuff into your colors. Using the Chroma Clear, I'm actually looking at getting a different clear in, because that's an MS clear. I find it very thin, and yeah, I think there's some better clears on the market. They actually don't stock the CC6400 over here at Parks in Perth. So yeah, I'll be looking at getting just another one of their high solid clears. Guns I've been using, have been great to get these guns all spray guns direct. So I actually still using the TE20, 1.3 for clear, Pro Light. Hard to go past that setup. For wet on wet primers and 2Ks, I've actually just been using the good old W400 Iwata Ballaria. I've been using the HVLP 1.4mm on the GTI Pro for my base coats, water-based base coats, and also this one. There's the GPI with the 1.4. And using this just for little spot repairs. I've got a mini fade-out thinner gun if I'm doing little blends. I've also got a full-size fade-out thinner gun, the ANI 1.2mm. So sometimes if I put a bit of wet-on-wet primer over a panel with this Chromax Pro, you'll get, like, say, a bit of a halo. So say if I was to have a little bit of a cut through here, put a little bit of wet-on-wet primer on it, you would actually get like a little bit of a edge around there where you can see it. But I actually did it on this job. There was a few spots on the top of this quarter panel here where there was just a tiny little bit of bare metal, and rather than going and putting an aerosol can primer on it, sanding it back and all that, sometimes it's easier to just, while you're wetting your panels, put a bit on there. And I put a bit of fade out thinner over the edge, and it's actually been working quite well. So yeah, basically I walked into this place on the Monday and I was like, man, what the hell am I walking into? It was a bit all over the place, and after 1 week we started to get it under control. Going forward, I'm going to get some good procedures into the apprentices. They haven't really had that much training. I think it's just been a case of there's a job, go do it, without actually telling them how to do what they're doing. We've got this Caprice you may have seen in the video I did on Monday. I painted it, and then we actually had a few little bubbles starting to come up, so I had to grind that right back just then, and I'll put a few bits of primer on it. The apprentice primed this up last night, but they don't even have a proper primer gun. They've been using a Walcom 1.3 or 1.4mm, and I'm like, man, that's not a primer gun. You're not going to be able to get enough primer on with that. So Carl from Parks, I actually don't have a primer gun at the moment. I could use that for primer because I do have a 1.8mm setup for it, but I use it for base coat and I don't want to go and give it to apprentices who aren't necessarily going to look after it. So yeah, Carl bought this AZ3 1.8 in, which I've actually done reviews on, and it's actually quite a good primer gun. He just said, basically try before you buy to the apprentices. I tell you what, these gloves, these Colag gloves, they're absolutely the best on the market. They're so strong, and really been enjoying them. I've been sort of stashing them down in my toolbox down there so no one uses them. These are the standard ones, and you get a drop of thinners on them, within 10 seconds they're just blown to bits. But those ones are amazing. So I mix all my clear coats, primers, wet on wets and that up on the computer. We got these Phoenixer cups, and we've also got these Bodyline PPS cups. That's our gun wash. The gun cleaner's been cleaned out. That's been working quite well for us. Just trying to get a few things, and I mean, get these apprentices onto the cleaning as well. Like, we got them to give the entire floor a good clean, and I said to them, look, between two of you apprentices, you guys have got to spend at least 20 minutes in here once a week and keep the joint clean. Empty the bins in the morning, just get a bit of procedure into them. And I think they've both got potential. They're both keen. They're both polite, good young kids, and I think they're in the right hands. Having the gunman. Here is one of them right now, Mr. Zach. He's doing a bit of a walk around tour. Did you need something there, Zach? Yeah, like you can see the colour around here. It's sort of a bit of a model there, but it was a bit of a hard colour to get. I mean, it's probably 20 years old, trying to match to that faded paint. But it should be okay. It doesn't look too bad, eh? You can see it's edge to edge over this side, and it actually doesn't look too bad. I find this Chromax Pro actually quite hard to blend. Like, I can see that blend. It probably actually stands out more because you can see it on the paper. It actually doesn't look as bad when you take that off, does it? But you can sort of see if you're looking for it. But that colour there to there actually looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah. What are you up to? Just doing some denibbing, or, I mean, washing, yeah? You got many left, or? No. Yeah. Well, when you guys are done, you want to come and have a bit of a tidy up? Sure. Yeah, just clean the floor up and shit like that? Yeah, of course. Cool. So it's all happening. I think the boss is very happy with me, and I had my old boss from another shop call me up, say they wanted me. Had another shop, like a Mercedes shop, call up and say they wanted me, and if they had called me on the Monday or Tuesday, I would have said, yep, I'm there. But you know what, I'm actually starting to really enjoy it here. It's basically everything on my terms. This shop is mine, my paint shop. They even say, if you want to come in and do jobs for yourself on the weekend, spray your own car and shit like that, you're welcome to do it. Just pay for your own materials and stuff like that. So it's good. The booth's been spraying pretty well. I overcome a problem because we changed the filters, and I didn't actually realise how to adjust the cabin pressure in the booth, but it turns out that here is a bit of a manometer, they call it, which is the kPa pressure, and then you've actually got the adjustment here. So I was on the phone to the guy from Lowbake who make these booths, and he told me the best way to set them. He actually says you want to have it actually at negative pressure, which I've always thought you want it positive pressure, so that when when you're on your spray cycle, so it should actually push it open like that. But he's saying you actually want it so that you're basically pushing it like that, just with your finger, and it'll just suck in. Like once it gets there, it'll actually just pull in. And he was saying that basically, when the overspray sort of gets to your knee height, it'll just go bang straight down. So I'll be setting it at that and see how we go. See if I can get some of my jobs a bit cleaner, because pretty much all week I had it set with massive negative pressure, and every time I opened that slide door, just heaps of shit was blowing in, and had a few jobs that just had sort of crap all through it. But spray painting is one of those things. There's many variables to it. There's a lot to learn, and every shop is different. I think that this kind of work is probably harder, especially like doing all these like older cars with all the colors and stuff like that is actually harder than doing, you know, prestige and brand new cars and stuff like that. So yeah, color matching, blending techniques, you know, if you're respraying a full car, you won't have any bodgy looking blends. You're not going to have any worries about color matching. All you got to do is get your prep right, masking, and you know, it's probably a bit easier. So hey, I'm loving it here. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. It actually has been a very big week for me. I've been doing like 12-hour days. A little bit knackered at the moment, I must admit. But tomorrow I'm actually going in to paint XC GT. We'll do the blue stripes and then the white down the entire car. So that should be a bit of fun. I decided to leave you guys with a little bit of a teaser for one of the upcoming videos. This was that XC Cobra I was just talking about a couple of minutes ago. So it's all painted. Well, the body's painted anyway. I've got to go in and do the panels and then the bumper bars as well. And I'm going to try and see if I can talk the owner into giving it a flow coat. I believe this car is probably good enough to warrant giving it a flow coat, because that's going to bury any of those edges, and there is actually a bit of a stripe that goes over the top of that, so it's sort of like a vinyl stripe that goes over that edge anyway, but you'll still probably be able to see the masking line underneath it. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for this vid, guys. Now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. Thanks for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.